Hello and welcome. I am super excited to be here talking to you about 5 ways to improve your mental health and resilience, sponsored by the ICA. And my name is Tacha Kasper. I am a psychotherapist and a coach, and I've also battled IC for 16 years. So when I say I get it, I really get it. So we're going to dive right in right now and start talking about the 5 ways you can start working on your mental health. So we all have an inner critic, and this inner critic is really mean, and it's more like an inner dictator. And especially with chronic illness, we can feel very unworthy, very insecure, and have a lot of mental health issues around this. So I want to introduce you to Moxie. Now, Moxie is my version of your inner friend, your inner cheerleader, and you can learn to use her to balance out your inner critic, because we don't have to be so hard on ourselves. We can train our brains to learn to not be so hard on ourselves, and that's part of this fierce self-compassion, learning how to treat yourself the way you treat any of your loved ones. And so Moxie can help you do that. Of course, you can make your own or name your own, but we want something to balance out this inner critic that is constantly living in our heads. So that will get you started. Our brain is a meaning-making machine. So just a simple shift in how we talk to ourselves. For instance, if I say I am sick, which I am, my brain will go and find the evidence and create evidence for that. If I say I am healing, then even though I'm sick, it actually puts my brain to have a better mode systemically, and my brain will go and find the evidence that I'm healing. So that's just a quick example of how we can shift our thoughts. We're going to dive into 5 quick ways of how to shift our thoughts. The first one is we tend to focus on the problem. We ruminate, we catastrophize, we spend a lot of time thinking about all of our problems instead of focusing on a solution. So this is kind of the easiest 101 shift that you can start doing right away. Is if you're thinking and ruminating and spinning and spinning and spinning on the problem, you can begin to do these 5 things. So the first one is we're focusing on the things I cannot control. So I can't do anything about that, right? Pandemic, can't do anything about that. However, if I focus on what can I control, well, now my brain and my mindset is towards what I can do. And so the first line of defense is what I call your meds. And that's going to be mindful about what your environment and your body and your mind is going on. Exercise in the sense of move your body every day, just a little bit. This isn't working out crazy. If you can, great. If you can't, get moving a little bit. Diet, how are you fueling your body? Especially with IC, this is really important. So you need to pay attention to that. S is for sleep. And we all struggle with sleep and insomnia, but do your best to get the rest you need. And then the last one is sunshine. Getting 10 to 15 minutes of sunshine on your skin every day will help ward off depression and other illnesses. So the other one is, what are you doing about your mental health? Are you getting help? Are you making changes and learning new skills with your mental health so that you can cope? Because life with a disease is very different, and none of us come equipped. We all need help with this. Nobody has it already figured out. We have to learn that, and it's okay to need help and to get help. Number 2, instead of focusing on the things that I cannot do, and there's a lot, I'm going to focus on what can I do? And I'm going to get really creative and strategic about that. So maybe I can't go to travel to a place that I want to go, but okay, where can I go? What about certain restaurants? Well, maybe it can look different. How can I see different people? What if I can't sit in these particular chairs? What if we bring the food and move it to a different place? So getting really creative around how something could potentially look. And then often it's very different than how we anticipated. So that, and then having a sense of gratitude of all the things that your body is doing for you to keep you going. Number 3, things that I don't have. I'm spending a whole lot of time, right, focusing on that problem and focusing on the things that I don't have. If we shift, we can focus on what do I have. And part of what I teach as far as like a pain protocol is to recenter yourself to your worst day. To me, as long as I wake up and I'm not in the hospital and I don't have an IV, it's a good day, right? That's a very new way of looking at things and recalibrating our life to how things are. But it helps us keep a sense within our life of managing chronic health problems. So what do I have? And I can plan for things. I have support. I have friends. I have doctors, right? These are all the things that I do have. And so we want to help to do that. 4th is thinking of the past, spinning in the past, or future tripping, right? So there's a law in my world which is called no future tripping. You're going to focus on what do I have, right? I have all sorts of things that are helpful, and I have ways to plan for the future. I also need to learn how to grieve properly for the past and learn how to be in the present moment and enjoy it. 5th, what do I want versus what do I need? And we don't always pay attention to these two things. So we want to pay attention to our body. We want to learn how to tame your pain and learn about fierce self-compassion. We talk about that in the webinar we did with ICA, so you'll be able to check that out. You do get a choice to live a fiercely resilient life. That is a choice. That is how I term this. And please check out the ICA. There's a free webinar with a free workbook, and it's going to give you resources to get started right now on your mental health.